Hello, and welcome back to Kuumba Creative Puppets, where you will learn the ins and outs of puppet production. In other words, how to put on a puppet show. Now, I have already begun a series on how to come up with ideas for a puppet show, but I thought it fitting to interject just for a moment to introduce to you some puppetry lingo, just in case you're new to this whole arena. Now, today we are going to cover what is puppetry, what is a puppet, what's a puppeteer, and what are different kinds of puppets. I'm not going to go into detail because I will be doing that on individual videos later on. But just to introduce to you so you can become familiar with it, because it's going to be important when we start putting together a puppet production. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get to it. Just get on board. What are you waiting for?
Kuumba-Nia, creativity with a purpose. Hey! Kuumba-Nia, creativity with a purpose. Yeah! Creativity with a purpose. Hey! Kuumba-Nia, creativity with a purpose. Kuumba.
So puppetry. What is puppetry? Puppetry is a form of theater, which it took a long time to be recognized as such, even though puppetry really existed before the human theater was established. But, however, puppetry is a form of theater where you take an inanimated object and tell a story and it's made to appear alive. So what is a puppet? Well, there's been debates about the exact definition of puppets, but in general, a puppet is any inanimated object that is manipulated to appear to be real. So how is a puppet manipulated? A puppet is manipulated through a puppeteer. So what is a puppeteer? A puppeteer is a person or mechanism that manipulates the inanimated object to make it appear real. Okay, so you may be asking, well, I know about the Muppets. I know about, those big mouth puppets. But what other kind of puppets are there? Well, I'm going to share that with you too. Well, there are 4 basic kinds of puppets, and all the other kinds of puppets are derived from these 4 basic types of puppets. Now, you can look at it as like the primary colors in art, okay? So, the 4 basic types of puppets are the shadow, the marionette, or the string puppet, the rod, and lastly, or hand or glove puppet. So those are the 4 basic types of puppets. And in future videos, I will be going over each of these in a little more detail. A shadow puppet, if you think of your own shadow, is your reflection of a shape or form reflected by light. And sometimes it's onto a screen. It could be a wall. It's operated usually from below or behind, and sometimes in front of the screen. The string puppet or the marionette. The marionette, of course, is operated by strings, and it's usually operated from above. Then you have the rod puppet. The rod puppet is controlled by a rod, but basically a rod puppet is operated by a main rod, which is connected to the puppet's head into the puppeteer's hand. Now, the hand or glove puppet is a puppet where the manipulator or the puppeteer's hand is directly inserted into the puppet's body and movement is made directly. And so there you go. A little intro about puppets and puppetry. And as we go along in these other videos, I'll introduce more. But for now, that's the foundation of puppetry. The terminology and the 4 basic types of puppets. So if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so when I put out another video, you will be the first to know. Okay? So that's all I have for now. I'm Meada Taylor for Kuumba Creative Puppets. Creativity with a purpose.
Kuumba-Nia, creativity with a purpose. Kuumba.